Now, here, what's extraordinary about that is I asked 200 people who work in the financial services industry a little bit of a thought experiment question. I said, if I gave you £500 in cash now, and the deal was you can keep that money so long as you pay £500 into your pension before you get home this evening, how many people among you would know how to do that? In other words, how many of you would know how to make an ad hoc pension contribution without actually going home first and spending about a week researching it? And one person knew how to do that, not typical of, I think, the British population. He worked for Goldman Sachs, okay? Right. Now, the extraordinary thing there is you're incentivizing something which is almost impossible to do.
Yeah.
So if I worked out, in order for me, now let's look at this from a behavioral science point of view, in order for me to respond to now, if I had a windfall, let's say my book mysteriously paid some royalties for a change, and I suddenly had a few £1,000s, which I didn't know what to do with, popping that into my pension would be a pretty sane thing to do. Nobody ever does when they have a windfall, for the most part. Well, what I'd have to do is I'd have to go home, ask my wife to retrieve some incomprehensible stuff from a filing cabinet, find an address, write a check for the equivalent amount. I don't even know where my checkbook is, for God's sake, because, you know, it's not 1973. Okay, I haven't written a check for a year. Post it to some weird address in a trading estate in Bristol. And then, by the way, nothing would happen. I wouldn't get any acknowledgement of receipt. I'd have to wait 6 months for my next pension statement and remember to check that they'd credited that amount into my correct account. Now, there are two things going on here. First of all, at a banal level, no one's going to do anything which is a royal pain in the arse. Okay. Secondly, by making it a royal pain in the arse, you create the unconscious assumption that I shouldn't be doing it. Because my natural human heuristic here is, if this were a normal thing for people to do, they would have made it easy. So the fact that it involved a bureaucratic nightmare probably means I shouldn't be doing it at all.